What is going on, my fellow wrestling fans? This is your boy Hollywood Steve and fellow wrestling fanatic here with another review from Friday Night Smackdown. Alright, so let's get right into Smackdown from last week. Here we go. LA Knight opened up the show to address the interference by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed at his Money in the Bank match, ladder match. And during his promo, he called out Paul Heyman, which led to LA Knight and him having a pretty heated exchange of words. Paul Heyman Let's try that again. Paul Heyman told LA Knight that bad things would happen to him if he continued to engage the bloodline. Or, excuse me, not the bloodline. If he continued to engage with Seth and JC Mateo and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, or not JC Mateo. Gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's try that again. Paul Heyman told LA Knight that if he continued to engage and stick his nose in the business of Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, that bad things are going to happen to him. But, LA Knight doesn't care. LA Knight just continued to berate and continued to just continued back and forth with Paul Heyman. And then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed snuck up behind LA Knight after both get thrown into the barricade. Well, after LA Knight actually gets thrown into the barricade, he gets up, grabs a steel chair from the timekeeper's table, or from the timekeeper's area, and runs off both Reed and Breaker. And then later, backstage, Nick Aldis told Bronson Reed that he would be facing LA Knight later on, and Bronson Reed looked like he welcomed that challenge, welcomed that match, which is going to be a good match. All right, so following that, we had Asuka versus Alexa Bliss in the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, which is where the finals are going to take place tomorrow, actually, in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. And in my case, it'll be Day of Champions, because it will be 10 a.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time, that I'll be watching this. So we got again, like I said, we got Asuka versus Alexa Bliss in the semifinals. Asuka picks up the win. Here in a surprisingly good match. I mean, I will have to say I was very much impressed by Asuka here in this. I was very much impressed by Asuka here. In this match, I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I will say that it was pretty good. It was a pretty good match. So then we get then backstage we got Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Me Chin in the locker room. They're all watching the match, and Byron Saxton walks up after Me Chin and B-Fab both look at each other, and Me Chin says, says they should challenge for the tag team titles. So they go off and talk to Nick Aldis about getting a match for the women's tag team titles. and Byron Saxton is talking to Jade Cargill here, and she said that she said how was meant for the Queen of the Ring, and she would win, and that this tournament was meant for her because she's already the queen. She's already established as this top top superstar. She's already established. So this is meant for her. Then we got Aleister Black facing off against Kit Wilson of Pretty Deadly. But as Aleister Black was making his entrance, R-Truth jumps Wilson from behind, puts him in the STF, which brings out WWE officials. And Jamie Noble, if you guys remember Jamie Noble, he was part of J&J Security with Seth Rollins when he was part of the Authority back in 2014, 2013, 2012-ish time frame. But Jamie Noble pulls Truth aside and has to calm down because Truth right now is pretty much unhinged. He's so bent on revenge against John Cena that he sees red. He's just attacking everything and anything and everybody. And I kind of actually like this, to be honest with you. I kind of like this. Then following that we got Truth and Noble backstage, and Jamie Knowles, he's talking to R-Truth, calming him down, telling, hey, look, you can't do that kind of stuff. You can't be jumping other wrestlers from behind. You can't be doing that. And Aleister Black comes up to Truth and goes, and he's basically asked him, why did you interfere in my match? What business did you have interfering with my match? You need to stay out of my business, or you and me. Right now we don't have issues, but you and me are gonna have a problem if you continue to stick your nose into my business. And following that, as Aleister Black walks away, Damian Priest walks up to Truth, and he says he knows how he feels, but he's like, Truth, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. And he needed to channel his anger for later on tonight and take out his aggression, take out his anger against John Cena. And Truth's like, okay, all right, we're cool. And then Cody Rhodes came out to address his semifinals match in the King of the Ring tournament on Monday Night Raw, where he was going to be facing main event Jey Uso. Yeet. And just as he was getting ready to speak, Jey Uso's music hits, and of course he makes his way through the crowd, as Jey Uso does, and Jey and Cody shake hands, they hug each other in the middle of the ring, and Jey starts out and said, that how him and Cody have been through the trenches. They've been, he's helped him out with the bloodline. He helped him out with his, with finishing his story. They both finished their story. And they were tag team champions, and they've been to war together, but he said he's got to get his. He said, I got to get mine. And he said, no offense, but Monday Night Raw is going to be 3 letters, 1 word, yeet. And then we got, then Sami Zayn comes out, and Sami praised both Jey and Cody. He's like, you guys have done everything in this business. You guys have done it all. Jay, you finally got a singles title. Cody, you finished your story. Both you guys finished your story. But I have to get mine. I need this. I need this. And so Sammy comes out, praises both of them, and he said that he was proud that they both finished. He said he was both proud that they both finished their story. Then Randy Orton came out, and before then Randy Orton came out before his and Sammy's match, because him and Sammy were having a match in the semifinals to see who would go on to face to go on to the finals, to face the winner of Jay and Cody. Orton said told Cody and both Jay that he would do whatever he had to do to face John Cena at SummerSlam, because he had John Cena beat. And Randy said to Sammy that one day you'll be champion. One day you'll be world heavyweight champion, just not today. Because he would be on the receiving end of three of the most devastating words in the WWE, RKO. And then we get an ad break, and after the ad break, we got Sammy versus Randy. And Sammy had some really strong offense. Sammy came out punching here. Sammy came out swinging. Sammy looked really, really good in this match. Sammy came out really strong, some really strong offense, and then we got a picture-in-picture ad break, which is what SmackDown does on USA. They do the picture-in-picture, so we get the picture-in-picture. And then we get and then as the match goes on. So during the picture-in-picture, Orton, Randy picks up some momentum, and as the match is going on, Randy gets control, and he just continues to dominate with punches in the corner, just relentlessly just punches Sammy in the corner. Sammy retaliates and retaliated through a few punches of his own. Got a few chops in there until Randy flinks Sammy into the corner, and then hits the Garvin Stomp made famous by Ronnie Garvin. That's a name going back. Look up Ronnie Garvin. Look up the Garvin Stomp. Sammy continued fighting. Then Sammy gets hit with a scoop slam and a draping DDT, but Sammy rolls out of the ring just before Orton can hit the RKO. And Sammy gets his second win. And as he's about to go for the haluva kick, Orton hit Sammy with another scoop slam. Sammy went again for the haluva kick. Randy moved and went for an RKO. Sammy countered it into a Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2 count. Then after another failed haluva kick, Randy hit the RKO for the win. And he advances to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament this Saturday to take on the winner of Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw. And after the ad break, we got Nia Jax in the ring to address the WWE Universe, and she was promptly interrupted by the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton. And Naomi comes running down. She tries to cash in, but she's thwarted by Nia. Nia's like, "What are you doing? Why are you trying to cash in on me? This is my moment. I want revenge on Tiffany. This is my time, not yours. And so Tiffany's Naomi's attempted cash in is thwarted. Then we get a video package from the match between John Cena and CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is narrated by Byron Saxton, and talking about the yin and yang, and how the yin has now become the yang. CM Punk's become the good guy. John Cena's become the guy that's going to ruin wrestling. And we get clips of that famous promo, that famous pipe bomb from CM Punk, and also John Cena's pipe bomb thrown in there, which was really good, by the way, really good. That was, I loved the how they did the throwback to that, and basically how they basically replayed that. I thought that was masterfully done. How they just basically reversed the roles, and it was Cena cutting the pipe bomb promo, and it was Punk being put through the table and laying flat on his back. I thought that was really, really good. Really good. It was awesome. I have in my notes here. I have to say, it was awesome. And then we got Chelsea Green versus Charlotte Flair. Chelsea Green controlled most of the match, surprisingly. Of course, with the help of the Secret Herbis, Alba Fire, and Piper Niven. Charlotte, though, hit a crossbody for a 2 count, and after the ad break, Charlotte obviously was in control of the match. Charlotte picks up the win with the figure 8, and as Charlotte gets the win, Piper Niven hits Charlotte with a senton, and Alexa Bliss comes down to make the save and hit Chelsea Green with the Sister Abigail DDT. And then we had Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo back in the locker room. And JC is getting ready for his to go out with Solo. Solo tells Mateo that he wanted to go out to the ring and talk to Jacob by himself, but he did tell JC Mateo, be ready. So Fatu comes out to a chorus of cheers, and met Solo in the middle of the ring. Solo tells him he loves him, and the one thing he learned as the tribal chief was how to love and love people and run a family. And Solo said, nope, nobody but him saw Jacob's potential, and the reason he brought him into the WWE was so he could provide for his family and help him win a title and help make him relevant, basically. And that didn't really sit well with Fatu. And, Solo said for Jacob just to come back to the family, and he said he loved him and wanted him back in the family, but Fatu wasn't buying it. Jacob said how much Solo had been using him. Fatu said ever since he won the U.S. title, Solo's been using him to gain power, to gain, prestige, to basically try and overthrow Roman. Fatu said maybe the problem isn't Solo. It's the fact that Jacob is the United States champion. And he said if that's the case, then he and Solo should fight for the U.S. title. And Solo went for the Samoan Spike, but Jacob Fatu blocked it and headbutts Solo. But as soon as he headbutts Solo, JC Mateo runs in and tries to jump Fatu, but JC gets caught with the headbutt also. Solo then took out Fatu's knee and JC Mateo, and Solo pounced on Fatu. Jimmy Uso runs in to make the save to help Jacob out. Fatu recovers, and with the help of Jimmy, they both beat down Solo and Mateo. And Fatu went for what's called as he calls it, the mighty moonsault, but Solo rolls out of the ring, and Jimmy and Fatu are stood all alone in the ring. And after the ad break, we got Big Bronson Reed versus L.A. Knight. Yeah. And L.A. Knight, his music hits, but he actually sneaks up from behind Braun Breaker. And then we get to the start. We got the start of the match. Knight moves out of the way. Knight moves out of the way as Reed's tries to hit one of his big moves. Reed jams his shoulder into the post. Knight was in control of the match early on. LA Knight hits a jumping flying elbow for a 2 count. Reed hits a jagged edge for a 2 count, and as Knight was looking to send Reed out of the ring, Breaker ran into and speared Knight for the DQ. And you knew that was going to happen. You knew Braun Breaker was going to interfere at some point in this match, and it wasn't going to be we weren't going to get a clean finish. Typical with Seth's new faction here. We're not getting clean finishes in these matches. So Breaker runs in and spears Knight for the DQ. And Knight gets hit with 2 spears and 2 tsunamis. Reed hit a 3rd tsunami. And LA Knight is out. I believe the report was he has a ruptured sternum and fractured ribs. I believe that was the diagnosis from the 3 tsunamis. So best wishes to LA Knight. Hope he gets back soon and recovers soon. And we get him back on our TV screens because I love LA Knight. I don't know about you guys. I love LA Knight. That guy needs to win a title, but that's a discussion for another time. But back to SmackDown. So after that altercation, after that post-match beatdown, not post-match beatdown, but after that beatdown of LA Knight, we got Jacob Fatu backstage, and he and Solo are going to fight at Night of Champions for the United States Championship because Fatu talked to the man, as he calls Nick Aldis, and said that he got him and Solo a match for the United States Championship at Night of Champions. So that's going down. That's been made official. That's happening. And then R-Truth makes his entrance for his match against John Cena. After the ad break, we got John Cena's entrance. And R-Truth came out at the start of the match on fire. I mean, this is a totally different side of R-Truth. This is not the happy to be here, comic relief R-Truth. This is like the R-Truth, like, put some respect on my name, like, kind of R-Truth. And I like this. But during the picture-in-picture break, John Cena regains control after sending Truth into the post and continues to be in control of the match. Cena tries to walk away from the ring, but R-Truth isn't buying it. R-Truth isn't having that, and he runs after Cena and gets hit with the belt obviously right in front of the referee, causing the disqualification. CM Punk runs down and chases Cena back in the ring. where Cena just lays out Punk and just beats him down. Punk came back with a few punches. Cena low-blowed CM Punk and hit him with the belt. And Cena hit Punk a second time. And he hits Punk with an attitude adjustment through the Slim Jim table. And cuts his very own version of the pipe bomb. And let me say to you about that. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about that. So, John Cena cutting his own version of the pipe bomb, I thought was absolutely awesome. I thought was an absolute thing of beauty. I loved how they did the, went and did the throwback to the pipe bomb, and just basically, like I said earlier, they basically just reversed roles. It was Cena cutting the promo on Punk, saying how Cena saying how he's going to leave the WWE with the WWE Undisputed Heavyweight Championship, and just like CM Punk said, he was going to leave the WWE with the title, and he did just that. He left the WWE with the title, and that's exactly what Cena said he's going to do. He said he's going to leave the WWE with the title. And I just thought this was beautiful. I thought this was absolutely incredibly done. And I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, what you guys thought of the new version of the pipe bomb from John Cena. And let me know what your guys' thoughts were on Smackdown. This is Hollywood Steve saying I'll catch you guys in the next one. I will have a review of Smackdown from tonight. You can catch it tomorrow. I will have a review for you. Give you guys my thoughts on the Go Home episode of Smackdown. Don't forget, tomorrow night, if you guys are in the Pacific time zone, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, is Night of Champions from Saudi Arabia at the Kingdom Arena. So don't forget, don't forget if you guys have Peacock in the States, or if you guys nationwide, if you guys are watching this, you guys can watch it on Netflix. But make sure you guys watch Night of Champions. I will have my review of Night of Champions as well. I will catch you guys in the next one. This is Hollywood Steve saying, when you're Hollywood Steve, it's just too sweet.